The Joe Rogan Experience.
Who knows? They might be pro-Trump. Trump just sold off the last national parks, Grand Staircase, opened it up for oil and gas drilling. They probably like that shit, man.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Like, I've heard very different versions of that. From Zinke, when that guy's, what is he, Secretary of the Interior? What is Zinke? Yeah. When he was talking about it, he was explaining that's not what happened, and that it essentially went right back to where the way it was before Obama changed the legislation. Change the rules.
All I know is that
understand.
It was protected under Obama for a good reason.
Yeah.
There's dinosaur fossils there. Native Americans have monuments there. But of course, we don't care about Native American monuments. We just care about Confederate monuments. We don't care about abolishing all the Native American land and all the treaties. We just care about protecting bizarre Confederate statues around the country. I
don't think we should protect Confederate statues in the sense that I don't think they should be in, like, you know, the middle of fucking town squares and shit like that.
Yeah.
But they should do something with them, the same way they should do something with Genghis Khan statues.
Throw them in a museum, yeah.
Do you know that most of those things were made during the Jim Crow era?
That's a really good point.
Were constructed.
That's an amazing point. A lot of people think that it was right after the Civil War, and in fact, it was like in the 60s.
It was during the Civil Rights Movement.
Yeah.
There was a protest to the Civil Rights Movement. Oh, yeah, well, look what we're going to do here.
Yeah.
We'll put
You want
right in the middle of
rights?
town square.
You want rights? You want to drink out of our
shitty.
water fountain? Well, here's a statue.
And they're shitty statues, too. A lot of them, like, really poorly constructed.
That's
They made them
disgusting.
quickly. Yeah, it was a protest to the Civil Rights
That's
Movement.
crazy.
A lot of them, yeah.
That's crazy.
But the thing is, like, they are a representation of history, just like a Genghis Khan statue would be a representation of that monster. I mean, we think of Genghis Khan as a guy who opened up trade with China today. You know, you vaguely understand that he was responsible for the death of 10% of the population of the world back then. Changed the fucking... New York Times had an article about how he changed the carbon footprint of the Earth. There's literally a difference in the carbon footprint because 10% less people were alive during Genghis Khan's reign. Because they killed everybody. They fucking were killing millions of people. There's a great Dan Carlin series on it called The Wrath of the Khans, but I've talked about that way too much. But today, Genghis Khan's not offensive. Like, you could bring up Genghis Khan, nobody cares. I mean, he's way more horrific than anything that happened during the Civil War. They had slaves, and they did everything. They would capture people and use them as the front lines. They would push them towards their own people, so they would get shot. They would be the first people to get shot with arrows. You know, I mean, there's some horrific shit, but I don't think we should melt Genghis Khan statues.
I think the Confederacy is just so much more recent in people's minds that they're like...
We should do something with it, though. I mean, I don't think it should be in town square, for sure.
Yeah.
In anybody's town square.
Yeah.
But I think they should do something with them instead of melting them or smashing them. They should put them somewhere, at least for the future. At least for future people to, like, look back. Like, look, this is how fucking wacky people were. In the 1960s, they constructed these homages to the 1800s when slavery was legal. They constructed these statues to sort of paint these people in this heroic fashion that were fighting to keep black people slaves. That's part of the thing. This is all right there. It's part of the history of this country. We got to put it somewhere. I mean, I'm not saying it should be worshipped. It definitely shouldn't be prominently featured. So
put
some
it in a
black
Confederate
kid has
museum.
to feel terror.
Yeah, put it in a Confederate
there
museum.
There should be something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it should be like detailed description of when it was constructed and why it was constructed.
Exactly.
Who made it? What was the political affiliation of the people that created it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Stop this whitewashing bullshit. Like, every time MLK Day comes around, I'm always just like, did you know MLK was like a rabid anti-militarist and anti-imperialist? No, because he was the most hated black man in America.
Yeah,
at the
someone
time.
said, did you know that he used to fuck all these white women? Like, who doesn't like fucking white women?
Who gives a
It's a lot of
fuck what he
fun.
did in his personal
Probably had a good
life.
time. I think that's going to be the bad thing. Oh, well, you just turned it around for me.
Oh,
Fuck
you know
him
what?
now.
Fuck MLK.
That I have a
Let's
dream
abolish
speech that
MLK
suck my
Day.
ass. Yeah, it's so strange what people, how they turn on things.